We've already got smoke rolling this morning. I'm going to be showing you how to take a pits and spits flat top grill and do a low and slow barbecue style cook on it. Had a few requests to see this, and I'm doing one of my all-time favorites. I'm doing barbecue pulled beef sandwiches. I'm going to use a base rub first. This is a steak rub from Pits and Spits. It's a big chunk of meat, so you can put this on fairly generously. And as you can see, I'm not putting a binder on this. There's a lot of moisture on this meat, so we shouldn't have any problems with this rub adhering to it. For the second and final layer, I'm using the all-purpose rub from Pits and Spits. This stuff smells really good. It's got a nice color on it as well. All right, that's looking good. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy on the pit. So on with this big chuck roast right here. I've got my fire over here, got it started earlier using a gas assist, and I am burning 100% wood today. And it is a blackjack oak if you're curious about that. Pull this down. Go ahead and close our door. Now I've got this vent open quite a bit. There's about a finger's width gap here. I've got this one closed completely off. We'll be drafting air in, and the smoke will be escaping off the entire back. I'll be monitoring temperature since the meat's on this side. I'll be monitoring it right here. We're shooting or looking for somewhere around 250 degrees, just a typical low and slow. I hope y'all can hear me over this rain. We have rain all day long, so hopefully you can hear me. I just want to catch up to speed. I've been going around 2 hours, and let me tell you, this thing is so easy to hold at 250 degrees. That's exactly where I'm at right now, 250. And the only time it fluctuates is if I had to add another log, and that's so reminiscent of my offset. It's typically ran just like an offset. You want to keep an active fire that you can actually see the flames to where you don't get a lot of heavy smoke. Have your food on the indirect side, and hopefully it's going to taste kind of like an offset. We'll know that later, but let me show you what I've done. First off, I've flipped it one time, and I've been spritzing as needed. Every time it seems to dry out some, I'll spritz it, and all I'm trying to do there is really create a really good bark, and that water helps do that. I'm spritzing with just plain water, and I'm just maintaining my fire way over here, meat over here. I did end up putting a drip pan on the ashtray all the way in the bottom because I couldn't see making a mess if I didn't have to. I just got an aluminum pan down the bottom just to catch any grease renderings. Now I did raise the coals up with this lever on the side of this unit. I raised it up 3 notches, which gets the fire higher up. I didn't want much heat coming up on the bottom of this. I wanted more coming at the side and top, and so I achieved that by bringing the fire up a little bit. And also that's how partly I dialed this temperature in, not only by how high it is up in the pit, only 3 notches, you know, about like that, but I also control it by the size of the fire, just like I do on my offset smoker. This vent here in the front, I did end up screwing that way out to give it plenty of airflow like I do on my offset smoker. So I'm just going to continue to spritz that as it's needed, and once I get the color I'm looking for and I think it's got enough smoke, then we're going to do something different. We've been going around 4 hours total on this cook. Well, it's getting a really nice color to it. All right, let's probe it and let's just see what we're looking like deep in the middle. There we go, yeah, that's 178, 176, 176. That's really just perfect where I like to bring them. Now look guys, if y'all are looking for a good instant read thermometer or really any good meat thermometer, check out ThermoPro. They have some really good products, and if you'll use my link in the description and my code Smoky Ribs Barbecue, you'll get 25% off of anything in the store. Your total amount, you're getting a total of 25% off. It's worth checking out. So let's take this meat and quickly, because I know it's hot, we're just going to transfer it to this pan, and from here we're coming over here. Let's close our lid so we don't lose all of our heat. You want a really good tight seal on that to where it kind of just braise and steam. And we're also going to ramp this up to around 300 degrees. If it goes to 325, no big deal. At this point, it's going to be just like putting it in your oven. Matter of fact, if you want to keep using wood, you can put it in your oven because it can't get any more smoke. And but since we're already fired up and going, I'm going to finish it off here on the pits and spits. Tell you what, before I put this on here, I'm going to go ahead and brush this top off while it's easy to get off. I'd rather do that now while it's easy to come off and not let it get baked on no worse than what it is. All right, on with our meat. I've been going about 2 hours. I know I said 3, but 2 hours of sitting there steaming is a pretty good while. Let's just take a look and see what we're looking like. I don't want to overshoot this. And I could have put a probe in the meat and that could have told me a lot right there, but I'm not too worried about temperature at this point. What I want to do is just take this foil off. We got some good steam rolling out. Got some good juice down the bottom of that pan. I'm gonna take, and I'm not worried about temperature, like I said, I just wanna probe this and see how we're looking. Oh man, look at that. Yes, sir. That's going through like cold butter right there. That's what you want. Now just for kicks and grins, I'm at 211.5 degrees, 212 degrees. So what I want to do is let it go about another 10 minutes with the cover off to kind of crisp this bark back up a little bit. So we're going to shut her down. In 10 minutes or so, give or take a few minutes, I'm going to pull that off. Just simply put it over here, let it rest for 30, 40 minutes. And from there, we're going to put some sandwiches together. I just had Derek shred all of this beef up. Smells fantastic. There's a beautiful smoke ring on this, and we actually both tried a little piece with a little bit of bark. Fantastic. That pits and spits rubs, I'm gonna say rubs because there's 2 of them, is really good. And so we're gonna build a sandwich, and we're gonna start with just a handful of this. It's still really hot too, or warm. It's not so hot I can't stand it, but it's still nice and warm. Build us up a big sandwich here. Why be shy? Let's go on with a little bit more. That sandwich is screaming,
sauce me, baby.
And that's exactly what we're gonna do with some of this saucy bottom barbecue sauce. Take a bite and see how we done here. I know better than to try to cut that, because if I do, it's just gonna go everywhere. Oh man. For those of you wanting to know if the Pits and Spits could do low and slow barbecue, there is proof in the pudding, or should I say proof in the buns. Fantastic. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm Russ Jones with Smoky Ribs Barbecue.